Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Good evening, my darlings, and the warmest of welcomes to Monday Night Live. With me, a rather tired but happy Boaty, who is coming live into your eyes and your ears, direct from Windy Bottom, my humble little cottage here, perched up atop the moors in the Peak District National Park. And I have had the most splendid of days, and I hope that you have too. And I would love to hear all about your weekend as a whole and your Monday. How has the week started for you? Has it been an auspicious, oh Christ almighty, I knew I shouldn't have tackled that word. What the hell's that? What? Why are you popping up? You shouldn't be popping up there. What was it? Did you see it? Right, I see. Jolly good. Yeah, I'd love to hear about your weekends. I'd like to hear about your Monday. I was going for the word auspicious. That's what they're tricky chaps' words. Has your start to the week been an auspicious one or an inauspicious one? What have you got to tell me about the weekend? Have you got any good gossip? What have you been eating? And has anything nearly but not quite fallen on your head? Oh, we'll come to all the features later. Let's say hello to some people. Hubby is here, the lovely hubby. Humphrey, son of Boaty. The Greenwood, the lovely Trace. The artist who is now apparently known as the rather uneventful Adventures of Stickman. Oh, poor old Matt, he's gone through some names, hasn't he? And Trace picks up on that, says, "Evening, Matt. Changed your name again. I like Longman because it's very fably and pagan-y, but whatever you feel comfy in." Steve Colg is here. Smashing Pistons, the lovely Simon is here. Yes, that's Matt again. A haiku from Simon. "I'm here in mind, but my mind has a headache, so my mind is meh." Well, if that's genuine, I'm sorry to hear you've got a headache, and I hope it buggers off soon. Then there are some retracted messages from Simon, who then goes on to say, "Has anybody ever made a crabby patty?" And, right, I'm not sure what you mean by patty. I mean, do you mean patty as in, because there are some different spellings. And if you mean patty as in, like a beef burger, which is a minced beef patty, you know, a patty like that, then yeah, you got it right, P-A-T-T-Y. If you mean pate, then that would be different. But I haven't made anything with crabs, so there we are. And the rather uneventful adventures of Stickman is apparently stuck with that name for 13 days. Joke, which is, sorry, shouldn't laugh, should I? Now, before I go any further, I would like to introduce you to this. This is my knob warmer, and this was a very kind gift from the lovely Neil and Sophie today, and that's a very generous gift and I'm very grateful for it. And as a result of this, I need have no fear of a cold knob during the frosty temperatures of winter, for this will keep it snug and warm. Isn't that splendid? So yeah, very grateful for that. Joe Cox is here and says, good evening all, good evening to you, the lovely Joe. Barry is here, that guy from SETI Alpha 5. Hello again, sir, hello to you. And wowzer, long name Stickman. Yeah, I think that's going to be a theme of tonight, isn't it? Oh, let's get this in early for once. Don't forget, it is your moral and legal duty to name tonight's live stream. So get those coming in at any time. Oh, God. Well, that came unexpectedly early, didn't it? Simon quite correctly points out 13 days is no time at all. It'll take folk that long to type it for the first time. Quite true, actually. Dave Smith is in our midst, so that's lovely. Welcome, Dave. So what happens here? None of us are really sure, Dave. We just, I don't know. We meet as if by accident. We while away a little bit of time together, and things happen. Things get said, things get typed, videos get demonetized. Trace says, Simon, my daughter's name is Patty. Who was that? Was your daughter named after Patti Smith by any chance? And she's often crabby. I have certainly made a Patty crabby. And that almost reads like a haiku. Hope you had a good day, all, says Joe, and I echo that. Simon also agrees that we haven't really got a clue what's going on here. Holy crap, says Dave. Have we time warped back to the 1970s? Yeah, very possibly. I miss the 1970s. And Trace says, Dave, welcome to Boaty, where it's 70s night every night. Oh, God. Bad Book says, don't mention the Rimmer Brothers. Yeah, other parts suppliers are available. Barry says, sometimes I expect Boaty and Mustard to leap out of a red Torino. And that, I think, is a reference to the car used in Starkers and Crutch. That was their Torino, wasn't it? And I think it was a red one. Joe says, I'm certain that Paris painting is officially on a wonk. Look at the chair compared to it. Right, let's put this to bed once and for all. I will go and inspect the Paris painting from your point of view. Is that any better for you, Joe? Doing my best here. Dave, you are quite safe. No wonk either, and the proper stream angle. That's high praise indeed, coming from Simon, who was somewhat concerned. Now, Simon, as well as some of you other lovely people, were kind enough to lend me your gracious presence during my live at lunchtime. This very Sunday just passed. Yesterday, in fact, because I think it's Monday today. In it, bruv. In it, fam. And he was very concerned that I had broken live stream protocol by, I put you, without asking you, I just picked you up and I put you over there, over. They can't see that. You can just put your arm there. Those are the comments popping up on your screen. They can't see those, idiot. All right, steady on. Yeah, I'll put you over there, right over there in the corner. And Simon was quite rightly concerned that he would not be aware of when or not you were on the wonk. And I hope that he's now fully reassured that you are back in the correct position. That's rather funny, Dave, given what happened this afternoon. Yeah, there are 3 people who are officially traumatized, and even as we speak, probably being treated for PTSD. I very much doubt that any of those 3 individuals, will be attending tonight's live stream symposium. They will be metaphorically licking their wounds and probably tearing out their own eyes. Bad Books asks, is that your pet fly next to the cruet set? Right, I have got a fly update for you. Now, that fly that those of you who witnessed will recall either fell, dived or jumped into my wine, got very drunk, and then was completely unable to fly, staggered about on my table, and then just settled down for a nice kick somewhere around my cruet set. Now, I wasn't sure, to be completely honest with you, whether he would last the night. I thought that he might drop dead of alcohol poisoning or something. But I'm happy to report that the next day, possibly with a slight hangover, he was flying around the kitchen, just as before. Oh, and this is actually true. I made a joke that he was crawling about looking for a kebab shop. And when I had my supper that night, whenever, was it last night all of this happened? I don't know, I've been to sleep since then. But when I had my supper, I actually put a bit of food out for him so he could have some drunken munches or a decent breakfast in the morning. But the next day he was flying about good as gold. They are indeed tricky things, words. The live stream for the caravan made me think of beards and bangers. Okay, not sure why. Popping up, says Trace, I'd better get a towel. Well, I was working workshop today, says Dave Smith. Need I say more? It's Monday, says Barry. Same ship, different day. I edited my 2nd book, ready to send it over this weekend, and hit the gym. Good Lord, 2nd book already. Stephen S. Paul is with us from across the Henning Pond and says, evening, you flatulence. Good evening to you, Stephen S. Paul. I do hope you're well. Oh, and Neil Gibbons is here. Now, this is going to be interesting. Strap in, my lovelies. Today was an amazing day. The only issue I had was being emotionally scarred for life by seeing Boaty's tinkle. Therapist is booked for in the morning. And Trace says, oh, Neil, how did I miss that? Well, you weren't in the caravan, Trace. You weren't in the caravan for the private viewing of my tinkle. So, you know, that's what you miss out when that's what you miss out on when you don't come to the yard on a Monday. I had the pleasure, Mustard and I had the pleasure of the charming and highly amusing company of Mr. Neil Gibbons and his good lady, the lovely Sophie. This afternoon we had, and I was going to thank them in the Facebook group, but they don't appear to be members of it, so I didn't. But we had a lovely afternoon. We laughed an awful lot. I was held more than once in a manly embrace and a womanly embrace, and Mustard was swung like a child in between 2 men, both of whom are larger than he is. And we had a fantastic lunch, which we were treated to again by Neil, and which was very greatly appreciated. And I had 2 gifts. One I've already shown you, my knob warmer, and the other was a splendid set of breasts, which are currently adorning Derek. And before you get too worried about said boobs, they are in air freshener form. Yeah, very great. It was a really good day. Yeah, lovely to see you. Really look forward to the next time. So Barry says, so the knob warmer moves up and down depending on your mood. I think that once the knob warmer is put in place, I would expect it to remain in situ, unless of course it was knocked off or slipped off by being handled. Simon says, oh, Neil and Sophie were at the meet yesterday. I didn't realise. It needs more wool, says Steve Cole. Snuggle shaft, says Stephen S. Paul. Yes, indeed. I do indeed, son. Yes. Is the knob warmer made to measure? It looks about the right size to me. Early title nom from Trace. The story of the rather uneventful adventures of Stickman. We'll screenshot that. Can we please, says Joe, have a fleet update? How is Stigbürt von Thündercock and Brian Johnston? Yeah, you can have a street update by all means. Quick one. I don't want to get too far behind on the comments. So let's run through them. Where should we start? Okay, let's start with Brian Johnston. Brian Johnston is still spending time being broken. A new part was bought for Brian Johnston, the clunky, dirty part that needs to be replaced. That went into the garage to be fitted, but they were unable to fit it because the bolt that holds it onto the subframe is buggered, basically. The captive nut is spinning freely or something. And that's going to need to be cut off with an angle grinder and then welded or some such. So, yeah, so Brian is still buggered. Right, we do it in order. So that's 125. Shison. Nothing to report with Shison. Shison is running beautifully, no issues to report. And quite honestly, never less than a joy to drive. Probably need to wash, in all honesty, but otherwise, absolutely nothing to report. Who's next? 25. Oh, Derek. Derek is, Derek's okay. Derek is okay. I went to him today. He's okay. He's playing up a little bit, or he did play up a little bit. Obviously, all to do with that math thingy, whatever the hell that is. But yeah, Derek's absolutely fine. I mean, he's a trusty chap and he's banging on perfectly well. Who's next? Stigbürt. Stigbürt. Same as last time I told you. He's driving absolutely fine. He's got that ABS issue. Still got the airbag issue, obviously, until I can figure out how to sort that. Now, Neil very helpfully suggested, and he showed me the thing, and it's an airbag resistor bypass tool or something. So basically it tells you what resistor you need to fit. You fit a resistor to the airbag plug where the issue is, and that will turn your light off, except I don't think it will turn the light off in Stigbürt, because Stigbürt's airbag ECU is registering a deployed airbag, and as I understand it, the ECU needs to be either cleared or replaced with a new one when that happens. Otherwise, it's always going to show, it's always going to turn the light on because an airbag has been deployed. I might be wrong, but that's how I kind of understand it. And if that's the case, then the resistor thingy isn't going to help, is it? But the problem is that airbag ECU thing, it's a hell of a job to get to it. You have to strip out the whole centre console and dashboard and stuff. So those are the two issues with Stiggy. Yeah, the ABS thing and the airbag thing. But as soon as the ABS light comes on, so that the ABS is inoperative, he's driving absolutely beautifully. So yeah, airbag light, ABS, and seat repair at some point. Other than that, Stigbürt is fine. Who's next? What have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4. Land Rover, Miss Boo. Nothing to report with Miss Boo, all good. Driving beautifully, yeah, absolutely nothing to report there. No change, no issues. Still long-term plans with that one, or medium-term plans, or short-term plans, or whenever I can get hold of some money. Get some roof bars, get a roof box. Otherwise, all good. Wetleg von Tittybiscuits. Again, nothing to report, all good. Driving fantastically. Oh, except there might be something to report. When I got home, this was waiting for me, and I think I know what it is. Let's have a look. Or if I'm right, it'll be what they are. So let's have a look, let's have a look. Aha, yes. Oh, those are rather nice actually. Nice suede leather seatbelt doobry things in green, and there's 2 of them, 1 for each seatbelt. So they're a little present for Wetleg. I'm pleased with those. They feel absolutely lovely. Somebody will chime in now to say that they're not real suede. I don't care, they feel nice. So that's your update for Wetleg. No advancement with Betty Blue stroke Melanie Mingebag. Still driving amazingly, the most incredible. Oh, there is an update. She's got a knob warmer. She's got a knob warmer for her alloy knob. Other than that, I still haven't got round to getting the P-scan on and sorting out that. I mean, the thing is with Betty Blue, she drives absolutely beautifully, absolutely perfectly. The only issue is the fan not kicking in, although it has kicked in now. Yeah, I need to spend a day with her and see if I can figure out what's going on. But I've been out in her, and she's just the most incredible fun to drive. I wish you could have a go in her. She's amazing. She sounds fantastic. She really is rapid, proper rapid. Since I valeted her, she's really lovely inside, fairly lovely outside, and I think that's it. That's all your updates, isn't it? Oh, except to add that this time next week, possibly, although that might be cutting it a bit fine, I'll be talking about the new member of the fleet. Now then, where did I get to? My daughter was named after a Nan, says Trace, rather than Patti Smith. Fair enough. Oh, God. The rather uneventful adventures of Stickman says, my name is the rather uneventful adventures of Stickman. You can call me the rather uneventful adventures of Stickman. Thank you. Oh, making me work hard tonight. Paris painting is on the wonk compared to the heater. It's still crooked, for fuck's sake. No, it's even more wonky, says Joe. Turn it to the right so bottom turns to the left. He told me I was wrong about the picture weeks ago, says Matt, but I knew it. It's all on the wonk because it's an old cottage. If it's not on the wonk, it needs wonking. Oh, God. Right, okay. Right, where do you want this to go? That way? No, that is on the wonk now, isn't it? Right, let's try that. Let me know how that is. Fly behind the bars. Have you got it house trained? He's kind of training himself. Name that fly guy because he's super. My son would like to know why did you get your penis out in the caravan? Right, before I get any more demonetized, I have Mustard made some sort of joke. Oh, you'll see it all in the lunch video. Mustard made, what were we talking about? We were talking about something or other. And Mustard said, when am I going to get to see your little tinkle? So I showed it to him, but I showed them all a picture on my phone from when I was a very small boy, aged about 3, and I was frolicking naked in a fountain in a public park. Because back in the early 1970s, you could do that. I don't know why you could do that in the early 1970s, but I mean, now you couldn't do it. You'd be worried about perverts or being arrested or whatever. But I was frolicking as naked as the day that I was born, with my little tinkle waving in the breeze, and somebody took a photograph of it, and I have it for some reason. It must have been in one of my parents' photo albums, and I scanned it. They saw a picture of my 2 or 3 year old little tinkle, not the not the haggard, wizened old chap it's become now. The poor 52-year-old sort of a thing. I wouldn't inflict that on anybody. Well, I mean, obviously I do now and then, but I wouldn't inflict it on near strangers in a caravan, let's put it that way. I'm very pleased with these. That's why I'm fondling them. Title nomination. If it's not on a wonk, it needs wonking. Oh, I like that one. Screenshot that. Oh, Mike, Classic Wheels Ways is with us. Evening, Jason. Evening, humans. Evening, Simon, you massive tosser. Oh, that's nice. I'm not being called a tosser for once. Makes a pleasant change. And Mike says it's Festival of the Unexceptional this weekend. Is anyone going? I'm sure lots of people will be, but specifically he means, of course, are any of us lot going? Well, it will come as no surprise to any of you that I'm not. Oh, I won't. I'll have a look at those in a moment. I've just been pinged 2 photos, and I think I know what they might be. Yeah, and I need to do something with those and ping them back, which I will do. I'll do that. Are you watching, Sophie? I'll do that. Well, it's not going to be tonight, is it? But I will definitely do it tomorrow for you. Barry's dad was from Cumbrawn, and that's a fine place to be from. New member of the fleet? Asked Joe, with 3 question marks and lots of... Neil Gibbons says, ooh. Around the corner Alpha, says Mike. Just got it. I think the painting is spot on now, says Joe. Hashtag not on a wonk. The picture above Roo is wonky. Yeah, well, that's screwed in, so it's going to have to stay wonky. I have to head out, says Barry. I'll see you later. Ta-ta for now. And good God, I've caught her. She is watching, says Neil. She's with me, nursing the mental image out of her head. I do apologise for the mental trauma. The picture of my childish tinkle is. Matt has officially announced that he will not be attending the Festival of the Unexceptional, or FOTU, as I believe it's known. I'm just going to show you these again. Look, a lovely shade of green, MG logo. Lovely shade of green, MG logo. Hand stitched and made from genuine genuine material. Genuine material. It's genuinely material, is that? And I'm looking forward to getting those on. I might get some. These. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Nicely padded. Velcro's a bit of a rip-off, isn't it? The logo's upside down. There you go. Not sure my comment came through, says Trace. Automod probably caught the bad words. Yeah, I haven't seen a hidden comment from you, Trace, so you may have been somewhat thwarted there. We could all make them if we put our minds to it. What? Oh, I'm really pleased with these. These are the latest of my purchases from that online Chinese website, where you get really cheap stuff and it comes quicker than you might think. Mike, bless you. Oh, I can do that now, can't I? Aha. Thank you, Mike. Mike has sent me a super chat and I'm really, really grateful for that. And I've just put a little heart on it. Yeah, so heads up, guys. Now, I don't know if any of you want anything like this on your cars. Maybe you don't. I just thought that it would look quite good on Wetleg and might help with grabbing hold of the seatbelt, which in an MGF or TF is unhelpfully behind you. And it's a little bit of green to add to the green accents on the car. Now, if you go onto eBay, then things like this, they're about 20, 25 quid with the logo on there. Go onto the well-known Chinese website, and these were about £3.50. And they came within about 8 or 9 days of ordering, and I'm genuinely pleased with them. So I'm maybe I'm late to the party with the well-known Chinese website, and all of you all know about it already, but the things that I've ordered from there so far, I've been really, really, really pleased with. Yeah, they came super quickly, and you can't argue with the price. I've also ordered a really smart aerial in black and alloy, engraved with MGF on it, and that was like £1.50, something like that, including postage. I'm used to making rucksacks for jungle warfare. It would be easy for me to make one of these, says Steve. It probably would be. Wouldn't be easy for me though. Etsy, is that the Chinese website? No, Joe. Shine or Sheen or Temu? No, Trace, as there are quite a few cheap websites. Matt, yeah, AliExpress is the one I've been using. I have seen Temu pop up, so I'm sure there are loads of them. Mike says Temu is good. There we are. Let's share our experiences of anything we buy from cheap Chinese sites, shall we? I reckon these are, if you want some of these, then I reckon these are terrific value. What was the other thing I bought? I've forgotten now. Oh, it was the phone mount, wasn't it? That mounts onto your rear view mirror. That was cheap as chips, was that? And yeah, perfectly decent bit of kit. So if you've ordered anything from there, let us know about it. Let us know what you would recommend. Temu is great, but doesn't have any of the MG Rover branded bits yet. There's loads on AliExpress I've found, and all at really good prices. I went on there to have a look for a stereo, because I thought, well, I bought that cheap Chinese stereo, but I bought it from a UK eBay seller. So the chances are that, you know, that cost me 17 quid. I thought, I bet if I'd gone onto that website, and bought it directly, I bet I would have got it for about £3.50. And while I was on there, I was looking at other stuff and, yeah, saw all sorts of things. So, but, yeah, really chuffed with those. Matt says, I don't want to share cheap items as I get complaints when I posted cheap tyres. Oh, did you? Oh, Saddam. One last try, says Trace. You could run around naked in a park as a littlie in the 70s, because the establishment was run by Jimmy Savile and it was encouraged so that other enthusiasts could take photos. You know, the sad thing about that is there's probably some bloody truth in it, isn't there? But hey ho, it was a simpler time, wasn't it? You know, we used to go out and make dens. We'd go out when, if it was school holiday, well, I mean, for a start, let's talk about going to school. We all walked to school on our own. We didn't get dropped off in big cars by our parents. No, we walked there. Do you know what I'm going to do? What time is it? I'm going to stop drinking Vimto at this point, so that when I do have a glass of wine, it doesn't taste like shit. I've made that mistake the last 2 Mondays. Yeah, you'd walk to school. How long was your walk to school? There's a thing. You walk to school on your own or with your mates. Nobody got dropped off by their parents. Didn't happen. It would have been looked on askance. You walked, or if it was too far to walk, you got the bus. And if you weren't at school, then you went out in the morning, maybe took some sandwiches with you, and you came back when it got dark. And your parents didn't worry about where you were, they just assumed you'd be all right. I got up to some amazing adventures when I was a kid with my mates. We did all sorts of things that would be, parents would be terrified about now. We decided, me and my mate Warren Rose, I wonder what he's doing now. God, he'll be an old guy like me now, won't he? We decided to go to our local river and follow it until we found where it went. And that's what we did. And we walked for about, we walked for about 16, 17 miles, something like that. And then it started to get dark and we realised that we weren't going to get home until the next day. We hadn't thought about going back home. So we had to find a phone box and make a reverse charge call. Who remembers reverse charge calls? We had to make a reverse charge call to one of our parents and get them to pick us up, except we didn't know where we were. I mean, you imagine your kids doing that now. When I was about 11, I took off on the train to somewhere about 150 miles away, met up with a stranger, bought a bicycle off him, and took the bicycle back on the train and went back home. My parents didn't know anything about it, didn't know where I'd gone, nothing. I'm not reading that out, just in case I get sued. Mike walked every day to school, 2 miles there, 2 miles back. It was great. Trace says, thank you to Mike. Haven't tried Temu yet, Temu. I do keep buying bulk crap from Shein though, a whole box full of lovely, shiny, colourful tat for just 50 quid. My walk to school was 10 minutes, says Steve. Matt's walk to school was only 5 minutes, but I got taken. Otherwise I wouldn't have gone. Right. Some cheap stuff is good, says Joe, but I wouldn't cheap out on items that are going to keep you and others safe. But opinions will be different with all. And Matt says, I could find better things to do on the way to school than going to school. Temu, whatever you pronounce it, is good. Cheap shite, but some of it is okay. And I don't get that one. All right. There's lots of it coming out because of the film, The Sound of Silence. No idea what that's about. I've missed that reference stupidly, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting those onto. I keep touching them. I'll put them over here. So if you do find something on one of these cheap sites that that you think is really good and really good value, do share it in the Facebook group. Stick a link to it and share your good fortune with others. And I will definitely put the link for these on, because I think those are belting. Oh, belting! Do you see what I did there? I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Well, look at me all on top of the messages. Right, I've run out of messages to read out and I can't be bothered to think of anything to say. I normally complain about the messages. I'm really tired. Standard Monday tiredness. What shall we talk about then? Come on, brain, get into action. Nothing to report from the weekend, particularly. Pretty standard weekend. Some of you will have seen the daily diaries anyway, so you know what went on. Steve is off. Oh, Sound of Freedom. Sorry, I was rushing to type whilst feeding the cat, says Matt. Okay, well, obviously I don't know anything about films or what films are coming out. Not really something that I do, are films. Yeah, Steve goes off and says bye all and sends you all his love. I thank you. What else was I going to tell you? I've told you about today. Today was really cool. I've given you a fleet. I haven't really got anything much to. I lead a boring life, don't I? There's all the restaurant stuff going on. That's all still a bit up in the air. It's to do with human trafficking, says Matt, based on real events. Mike's off as well and says, good night, Jason. Good night, humans. Be kind. I shall look up both, says Trace. I know there's been rumours for years about the harvesting of adrenal stuff or something. What's that in relation to? There must be a whole conversation going on somewhere that I'm unaware of or missed or forgot to read out or forgot to read or something like that. I can report that I have curry for supper, so that's good, with rice and naan. And I can report that I will be having noodles for lunch tomorrow. And there's loads of stuff that I want to talk to you about and I can't. And that's really annoying. I hate keeping things secret and I'm absolutely no good at it because I am notoriously and hideously indiscreet. Keep the intro, says Decol. It would not be the same. Well, I agree. Oh, Sounds Vintage is here and says, good evening all, and a very good evening to you. Has Simon fallen to sleep, wonders Matt? He has gone quiet, bless him, hasn't he? So, of course, it was the Project Nigel meetup on Sunday. And I hope you all had a fabulous time. Now, there's been surprisingly little in the way of videos for me to watch. So I presume that you're all too busy having jolly good fun. Temu is good for clothes and house things, says Sophie. I'll have a look out for car things for you. Thanks again to Sophie and Neil for their company today. I really enjoyed myself, as did Mustard. Nice people. I imagine that some others of you will have had the pleasure of meeting them at the Project Nigel do on Sunday. And yeah, Neil is bigger than you might. Well, he's bigger than I imagine him to be, and he's a lot younger than I imagine him to be. I don't know why I imagined him being older, but I definitely did. I was surprised at how young he was. And, he's a big lad. You wouldn't want to fall out with him, I tell you that. He picked up Captain Mustard with ease. Joe says, no wine tonight, Jason. There will be wine tonight. It's not quite wine o'clock. 11 o'clock is what... Oh, now, thank you for reminding me. I need to put it in the freezer, don't I? We like a glass of well-chilled wine in this cottage, do we not? So, oh, and I need to rinse the wine glass because I got up late today and I haven't done the washing up. There we go. And we'll put the wine glass in the fridge right at the back so that it is nice and chilled when we deploy the wine. There's my curry, there's my rice, there's my chicken to go in the curry. Excellent. Happy days. Yeah, quite right, Trace. It's not 11 p.m. yet. Sophie's on board now. Yes, Boaty, where's the wine tonight? The wine will be here. Neil says you're bigger in more ways as well. That's a Tinkle reference there. And Trace has got it absolutely right. Boaty doesn't drink until 11 p.m. or he gets very, very drunk. Yeah, that is the truth of it. Yeah. I kind of need to get things done, you know. And yeah, if I started drinking earlier, I probably wouldn't drink anymore. Well, I might. Well, no, I wouldn't. But I'd fall asleep really early and I wouldn't get anything done. If I started 11, well, I mean, to be fair, I can't start before 11 most nights anyway because I'm at work. And on a Friday and Saturday, I don't get home until 11:30 or midnight or something like that. We like drunk Boaty, says Jack. I like drunk Boaty as well. Everything looks better after a little glass of splosh, doesn't it? Sorry, that went down the wrong way. Oh dear. Excuse me. We want to see Boaty drunk at 3 a.m. You really don't. You really don't. There was, I did put a bit in a daily diary the other night when I thought, right, time to go to bed. I'd had my supper, I'd had my wine, I'd done my bit of work, and I thought, right, time to go to bed. And I got up to go to bed and I thought, you know what? I don't feel like going to bed. So I went outside instead and I made a fire and I took a glass of wine outside and I filmed just a teensy weensy little bit of it where I was definitely, if not 3 sheets to the wind, I was at least 2 sheets to the wind. And I basically just filmed a little clip saying, it's 2:30 and I'm going to regret this in the morning. Matt says, size is a matter of perspective. Hold the ruler one way round and it's 9 inches. So glad to have met you today, says Sophie. It's been such a laugh. We've had a great laugh today. They are genuinely funny people. And I love it when I get to meet you guys. And I so want to meet all of you. I've had everybody that I've met, it's been fantastic. Matt is, I mean, you might think that Matt is funny. Sorry, I didn't mean that to sound, that sounded a bit wrong, but you might think that Matt is funny on the screen or in typing, but Matt is really funny in real life. Simon is just an absolute scream. I love hanging out with Matt and Simon. I've seen them quite a few times now. Who else have I met? Everybody that I've had the pleasure of meeting has just been great. And, I am. People have been having a word with me. And I've kind of had a word with myself. And I am going to do some shows, whether I like it or not, because it's really good for the channel, and it's nice meeting you guys. And if I don't go to the shows, then that's not really going to happen so much, is it? So I'll pick and choose some that are more doable than others, and I will actually show up. So there you go. There you go. And I promise not to complain or moan or bitch about it. Because, you know, I mean, if I'm honest, I enjoyed it when I went to the Project Nigel meet. I enjoyed going to the Furious Driving meet. The bit that I don't enjoy so much is the fact that, you know, I then have to go straight to work, or I'm knackered by the night, or I don't enjoy having to get up in the morning after only about 2 hours sleep. But there we are. I mean, you know, I'm going to have to make the effort, and I mean, it's part of being in the community. If he's sober and shows you a picture of his little tinkle, imagine what he would be like after a bottle of wine. Yeah, yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm disinhibited at the best of times. Imagine what I'm like with a bottle of bloody wine splashing about inside of me. Or maybe you might choose not to imagine that for your own emotional health and well-being. Now I haven't done a Boaty stations for ages and ages and ages. And I put that right a little bit tonight. So in tomorrow's daily diary, I just popped in for a couple of seconds to a station where I've never been before. And I saw a train, which was nice. It's a station on the Hope Valley line, and some people got off the train, including one lady who was very, very attractive indeed, and who I picked as my perp. Even though there was nobody there to play perp with, I played it with myself, and she was my choice. She was absolutely lovely. No, Boaty at the shows is hilarious because of the grumping and sarcasm. Don't turn up and have a happy time. I don't want to watch. That's fine with me, Trace. I will turn up and be grumpy. And yeah, actually, thinking back, that was a bit that I enjoyed as well. Being grumpy and miserable and refusing to take part and just standing by my own car and eating sandwiches. And I quite enjoyed the accosting famous people. You know, no half measures with me. Just I mean, poor Mr. Joseph Lloyd of Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. I think I scared him half to death. I don't think that people might be of a more sensitive nature than I. But when you think about it, if you've got some 6'5" lump of a guy hurtling at you and literally grabbing hold of you and manhandling you, you might be somewhat startled, in fairness. Like Matt took it on the chin like a good un. And of course I also accosted Mark on Motoring and 00 Garage as well. They were duly accosted. Did I accost anybody else? I think that was it. But accosting famouses is great fun. Oh God. I'm just thinking about what would be likely to happen when I met Ian for possibly the first time, although I'm convinced that we must have met before. I've said this, but I don't remember meeting Ian, but he was a motoring journalist, a classic and sports car motoring journalist, when I was like the biggest classic and sports car dealer in the country. So we must have met each other at some point, but I can't bloody remember. It's hard not to imagine it now, complains Neil. Yes. I'm trying to remember the clip now, says Trace. It'll come to me. That's jolly Juju is with us. That's really great news that you'll go to some shows, Boaty. And also, hello. Well, hello to you too. Joe says, Paul wouldn't believe me that I'd travel from Cornwall to go to his yard meets. I don't believe that either, Paul, Joe, to be honest. That would be a hell of a long journey. I mean, I can understand you coming up as a one-off to collect the car, but coming up just for a bloody meet? No. No, I mean, it's a nice idea. Got it, says Trace. You said that's what shows are all about. Turn up, look bewildered. Oh, Trace, be a darling, dig that out for me, or tell me where it is. That'll make a good short, and I'll do that as tonight's short. I remember, or have I already done it as a short? Can't remember. I think you did it as a clip, didn't you? I need to find that. I need to find that and dig it out. Yeah, that's right. Oh, it was a bewildered child, wasn't it? A child sort of came past, looking absolutely bewildered, as if, you know, what the fucking hell am I doing here? And I think I said something like, that is the most bewildered child that I've ever seen. And then it suddenly occurred to me that that's what these shows are about. For me, and clearly for children, and possibly other people who have been dragged along there unwillingly by a parent or a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And yeah, I remember saying something like, turn up, look bewildered, go home. Matt says, I'd not been to a car show for years until the Furious Driving one. Now I've done 3 this year and really enjoyed them. Yeah, well, you're a celebrity now, you would enjoy them. You know, you'll have people coming up and doing the old meet and greet with you. I'm mechanically useless, he goes on to say, but I've had some great conversations with clever chaps. Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? And he also says, hopefully going to at least 1 show per month next year. The year of the car we don't talk about on this channel. Got it, says Trace. I'll post it for you on their Facebook group. Thank you. And I've not done it as a short. Brilliant. I will do tonight. I would though, says Joe. That's the thing, and no lie. I will be back up in Michael Jackson 100%. Ah, of course, you're carless at the moment, aren't you? You're carless fandango, so you couldn't come in even if you wanted to. Neil says, we are planning on doing more than 1 next year. Need to free up some time to go to more. Only done Pride of Longbridge this year, and Soph is adamant that she wants to go to more. Right, brilliant. Well, hopefully, Sophie, next year you will be able to drive Neil there. Yeah. Right, I do believe that it is knocking on wine time, isn't it, darling? Darlings. Sorry, that wasn't directed at just one of you. That wasn't just directed at a single darling. I just need to check something. I was worried about the interweb working today because, oh, come on. Once again, I've got a shed load of footage from today. And of course, as soon as I get in and everything connects to the Wi-Fi, it all starts uploading to the cloud. And it suddenly struck me that the interweb would run really slowly if that was happening. So one phone is completely uploaded. The other phone I have paused, but that one, the one you are on, there's no way to pause it on that one because it's such an old iPhone. So it hasn't got the pausing option. And that's got the lunch video on it, which is over an hour long. Don't worry, it's going to be broken down into parts. So yeah, and I was just looking to see if that has actually uploaded now, because I was concerned that that was really going to slow everything down. And no, it hasn't uploaded. So that phone must be like prioritizing the live stream over uploading the video, which is absolutely fine with me. And that's what I hoped it would do. My my knob warmer was on the floor there. Day. It's 1 minute to wine time. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Now, those of you who haven't met the lovely Neil and the lovely Sophie, well, oh, and it is now 11 o'clock, so it is officially wine time. Cheers, darlings. Your very good health. And up yours. Oh, that's better. Doesn't taste of Vimto. That's the trick. Lose the Vimto at the half an hour to go to wine time mark. That's very pleasant now. Marvellous. Wonderful. You are going to be seeing quite a lot of the lovely Neil and Sophie because we've got new yard rules that if you rock up to the yard on a social basis to hang out with me and Mustard, and especially if you stay for lunch, you're going to get filmed whether you like it or not. And so your first introduction to, and that very much applied to Neil and Sophie today, who I must say acquitted themselves very well. And thank you for going along with it and allowing us to film you and whatnot. So your first introduction, and this is for channel members, will be tomorrow, where the lovely Neil and Sophie will be featuring rather heavily in my daily diary. Those of you, and there'll be there's behind the scenes stuff in there, and there's stuff from today that won't make it on any of the other videos. Won't be in the lunch videos or any of that. It's only going to be on today's daily diary video. That will be uploaded tomorrow morning, and channel members will be able to see it immediately. Those of you that aren't channel members, I'm afraid will have to wait until a week tomorrow. However, non-channel members, tomorrow, all of last week's daily diaries, that's 7 of them, 1 a day, will go live for your delectation and possible delight. And I'm going to do it the same as I did last week. So they will go out 1 hour apart, beginning at 13:13. And then they'll go out at 14:14, 15:15, so on and so on and so on. So Mondays will be out at the previous week's Mondays will be out at 13:13. And the final one, the Sunday, will go out at 19:19. I hope that makes sense. So there'll be no new evening video for channel members, but you'll have had the daily diary in the morning anyway, so that's your new video for tomorrow. God, that's rather hard work explaining, isn't it? But yes, so that'll be your first glimpse of Neil and Soph on the daily diary. And then they're going to feature, the poor sods, they didn't ask for this. They didn't ask for this, they had it forced upon them. They are going to feature in no fewer than 4 videos this week. Because, as I've been doing, I'm going to cut the lunch video down into bite-sized chunks. So basically, there's going to be 4 approximately 20-minute chunks. There'll be the collection video, which was quite amusing. And then there'll be the actual lunch video broken down into 3 parts for ease of viewing. So... So I'm sorry, Neil and Sophie, but you're going to be all over YouTube this week. But yeah, thanks again for going along with it. But those are the new rules, as explained in this afternoon's live stream. They're Mustard's rules, and they are that, if you rock up to meet us socially or have lunch with us, then you will get filmed whether you like it or not. You have to not take offence at anything that we say around you or to you. You have to speak a little bit on camera. You can't just sit there and be totally mute. And you spoke, we listened. The person with the quietest voice, which is the lovely Sophie, was sitting near the camera as requested. And she's got the softest voice because she's a lady peep. So she doesn't shout and bellow like us chaps. Oh, and Mustard did introduce another rule, which is that you have to pay for lunch, but that was just a joke. I'm lucky, says Joe, to hopefully be getting a Jeep Renegade 4x4. Oh, really? Ah. So if all works out, I will be getting my trailer license and coming to shows with Michael Jackson on the back of a car trailer. Why? Why not just drive Michael Jackson there? I don't get that. Oh, I mean, okay, if you were entering it into a concourse competition or something, then yeah, I suppose you might want to put it on a trailer and cover it up or something, but I don't know. Matt says, we non-members don't need to wait until next week to watch the Daily Diary. We just wait for you to tell us what happened on tomorrow's live stream when you get tipsy. Fair point, well made. You still made me do my awkward freeze within 5 seconds of filming, says Neil. I told her I was camera shy. Well, you got over it. You got over it pretty damn quickly, didn't you? You were absolutely fine. You were. Oh well, yeah. I mean, I thought if he's gonna freeze, I thought let's bloody well get it over with. So yeah, I did a preparatory, introductory bit of video where I said, "This is Neil, and he will now freeze." So I'm guessing that's the point at which you froze. But it makes it look as if I told you to freeze. And the rest of it, you were all brilliant. You were both brilliant, totally natural, funny. God, you made me laugh today. And I love that. I love laughing. I mean, sometimes it really is the best medicine. You know, unless you've got diarrhea. And then it's probably not the best medicine. Oh dear. It's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits, isn't it? I'm going to show you this just once more because I'm really pleased with them. That's going to look brilliant on the car, I think. And what I would like... Now, which of you out there have got an MGF or TF? I think it's only Simon, and I think he's gone to sleep. So there's no point in me telling you about the two things that I would like for the F and TF because you're not familiar with them, so it probably won't mean anything to you. So I'll shut up. I'm looking forward to being on camera, says Joe. It's going to be fun. That's the idea. Oh, excellent. Thank you, Boaty, for putting quieter people closer to the camera. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that Neil is loud, but he was far, far away. He was far, far away. He's not loud. He's not loud. He just knows. Oh, right. Joe says, it's because most car shows are over 5 hours away from me. It would be easier to cruise up the motorway in a newer car with cruise control and all the safety gadgets. And I don't want to crank miles on Michael Jackson. Oh, right. Okay. Gosh, that's, well, I suppose if that's what you want to do, why not? Nobody else's business, is it? Just seems a lot of faff to me, but there you go. I stroked Michael Jackson on your behalf today, Joe. And I said, don't feel unloved or unwanted, because sooner than you realise, MJ, you're going to be heading to Cornwall for an exciting new life where you will be very much loved indeed. And I'm not joking, I actually did do that. So I'm a funny old sod when it comes to talking to cars, giving them names and all of that sort of thing. Oh, Tracy has retracted a message. Joe says, my plan with Michael Jackson is to restore him like I did my last 25. Excellent. Good for you, Joe. I am so loud, says Trace. You'd have to put me in the lockup of insanity while you lot were in Roger Boaty if I visited. I have no volume control, only an on-off button. Yeah. We'll put you on top of the caravan, Trace. I have seen your live streams. I've never done one. You weren't on the... Were you on the one that I did with Steve? I can't remember now. That was all a bit of a blur. I don't remember much about it. I remember that I took you upstairs and went to the toilet with you. That was surreal. God, that's a long time ago now, isn't it? I miss Steve. I do. And I feel for Sian, bless her. You know what? Who was it suggested it? Oh, I was talking to Super Duper Cooper, Mr. Paul, about the power washers. And I was saying it was about time we had another meetup. Might do Sian the Power of Good as well. Would you be up for that, Trace? Power washer meetup? Neil says, I witnessed him doing the stroking and talking. There you go. Thank you for speaking to MJ. He's probably very lonely and his battery is probably getting flat. Hoping Paul has fixed his heater knob. What's up with his heater knob? Is it the normal thing? Is it the normal thing where, oh, shall I let you into a secret? Right, don't tell Mustard about this. You know when I handed Derek back and I thought, for good, I did a terrible thing. Now, obviously, Shison has got the Rover 25 malady where the heater control valve has got sticky or the cable's got kinked or whatever. And somebody has tried to go from hot to cold or vice versa, put excess pressure because it's gone sticky and the knob has broken, right? That's happened on Shison. It's a common thing. It's also happened on Derek. Except Derek's is even more broken. Now, when, this is awful. When Derek was going back to the yard and I thought his time with me was finished for good and all, I thought, aha. So I nicked the blower switch off Derek and I swapped it with the hot cold switch on Shison. So that Shison has now got a working hot cold switch. Not fully working, it won't go all the way to hot. I need to free up the control valve a bit more. But it goes from cold to about 3/4. It just won't go that last quarter. But the other bit of it is working fine. And I gave an evil cackle of glee when I did this. And now, of course, Derek's come back. So now I've got 2 broken knobs on Derek, and I'm gonna have to bloody order some off eBay or somewhere, unless I can find some on a Chinese website. So there you go. That was an evil act, and karma has repaid me. Did you film talking to Michael Jackson? I don't think I did. If you didn't, I'm going to be disappointed. Oh, sorry. I forgot you've seen our stream, says Trace. Would you like me to post the link to your stream with Steve in Facebook too? I wasn't on that one, was just before I started. Yeah, shove the link up. I wouldn't mind watching that again. Steve is, you know Steve, yeah, you should all know Steve. Steve was world's fastest talker and he's appeared on my Great Wiper debate video. And if you haven't watched the episode with Steve in, it's on my channel twice now because I posted an updated version when Steve very sadly passed away. So I posted that as a tribute with, you know, with a message. Do watch that if you've not seen it. There's a little bit of documentary in there. I think I put a link to the full documentary. And yeah, well worth a watch. Well worth a watch. So yeah, post it up there, Trace. It was, and it was that live with Steve that got me into doing these live streams. Now, Steve did it using one of those posh things. that you need to have a working computer for, which I don't have. So he could do all sorts of clever things with green screens and intros and the sort of thing that Simon and Rob are doing now. And he could have put different heads on himself and all of that sort of thing, and he's got multiple people on there and picture in picture. You know, it's all beyond me. I'm not capable of doing that sort of thing. You know, I can just about do this. I can talk for 2 hours into an elderly iPhone 6 when I'm half pissed. Yeah. But that is why I started doing these, because of that one that I did with Steve. I thought, oh, that was fun. And I wouldn't mind doing one of these, but doing it the way that I want to do it. Without, I didn't, some people, it's like videos, isn't it? Some people like to do their own videos in different ways. And personally, in my live streams, I don't like all of the effects and all of the fiddly bits and all of that. I like a pure just experience like this, you know. I sit and talk at you, you type at me. But yeah, Steve did all of the clever stuff. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, and he did it across multiple platforms. So he would be streaming on Twitch, I don't know what that is, something else that I didn't know what it was, Facebook and YouTube all at the same time, which is quite clever. And on one live stream, this is the only thing that would tempt me to get into it. On YouTube, it seems to be almost impossible to get a large number of people on the live stream if you are, like me, a small unknown channel. Whereas on, I think it's Twitch, Trace will tell. I think it's on Twitch, it seems to be much more set up towards live streams. And even if you're not terribly well known, you can get a massive audience. And if you get a massive audience, then you might get to keep some of them. And help me out here, Trace. I remember Steve showing me, not just telling me, showing me that one of his live streams, he had, I think I'm right in saying this, Trace will correct me, I think he had right, get this, he had 500,000 people watching his live stream. 500,000 people. Now, if anything is going to tempt me to get hold of that software and run it on a computer and do a proper live stream, it's the prospect of picking up 500,000 people. How much would I love that? So maybe maybe the oh God, maybe that Twitch thing is something that I need to look at and do them simultaneously at the same time. I'll talk with you and Mustard about it all in person, as there's a lot to catch up on. Oh, right, okay. I would be up for a meetup of eBay peeps, says Trace. It would be fun, wouldn't it? I don't think we've done a proper one since Richard Magnum Opus's funeral. Oh, there might have been one with Priddles, Sarah Pridding, and Steve up north that I was supposed to go to and then couldn't make it at the last minute. But I'd love to have a meetup with all the old school peeps. Right, back to Joe. His heater knob only goes halfway and not full whack on heat. And with Cornwall, I will need the heater for the cold mornings. So I kindly asked if Mustard could see if he could fix it. Oh, that'll be the same issue as Shison. It's the heater control valve, and it's notorious for getting stuck. So yeah, that's going to need freeing up. And I don't know how to do it. Now with Shison, when I couldn't move it by the knob, I've moved him by hand. I've gone into the engine bay and I've moved it by hand from cold to warm. So, you know, he can be cold in the summer and warm in the winter. But it's obviously not been fully freed up because, from the sound of it, like Michael Jackson, he won't go fully hot. Sorry, I'm just looking ahead to a message. Oh dear. So, yeah. Well, I'll get Mustard to have a look at that, Joe, because if I see him do it in Michael Jackson, I'll know how to do it in Shison so that I can get Shison fully hot as well. His insurance starts on the 27th of July, Boaty. You're welcome to give him a drive about, but he'll be taxed from the 1st of August. Ooh. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a video on that, Joe. No. Actually, no. Not until you're up there as well. I don't want to do it when you're not there. That would seem wrong to me somehow. And then says, Neil, thanks for witnessing him talk to Michael Jackson. I hope you all gave him a good hug. No, nobody else bothered. It was just me. And nobody else spoke to him either. They just totally ignored him. It was only me that spoke to him now. I'm not telling tales, Joe. And I'm not criticising any of the others, but no. Didn't bother. Completely blanked him. Sent him to Coventry. The thing is, says Trace, you, Boaty, have built a community who want to watch you. Steve's YouTube watchers never got above 3 people. God, did they not? On Reddit, he once... Oh, it was Reddit. On Reddit, he once had 500,000, but that wasn't monetized. Good bragging rights, though. Yeah, brilliant bragging rights. Can't argue with that. 500,000 people. But yeah, it was... oh, where's my wine? I didn't realise his figures on YouTube were that low. I know that, I mean, Steve had a massive Facebook group. I mean, it wasn't related to a YouTube channel. Steve was into dash cams and dash cam videos. And Steve and I were both in the, we both worked with Facebook Europe, and we were both Facebook power admins and part of that invitation only Facebook group thing, because we both had big Facebook groups. But my group had, at that time, had about 15,000 people in it. Steve's group had about 200,000 people in it. But sadly, he didn't have the time. He knew what he was doing, did Steve, and he was very engaging. But he never really had the time to fully build his YouTube channel. So, yeah, sadly, he never got the numbers that he probably deserved on YouTube. I think he kind of worked Facebook first, and then he was doing Reddit and Twitch, whatever the hell they are. And YouTube was kind of lagging behind. But, you know, if he hadn't have been taken from us, I'm sure he would have got there on YouTube. I know he was quite keen on becoming a YouTube partner and hitting the figures required for that. But let's just raise a glass to absent friends. Cheers. And this is the comment that I was laughing at. Simone is here and says, hello, bum boy. And that is, that's in relation to this afternoon's live stream on Mustard's channel. Trace says on Twitch we were getting about 5 people, and on Facebook we were lucky to get 1. Oh, bloody hell. Joe says, I like smaller channels, as then you can actually interact with the channel creator and build a small, tight community of people who help each other with advice and so on. Yeah, that's what I love. That is what I love about it, actually. Now, my singles community, that's what I had back in the day with singles. there was a time, probably 2 or 3 years, where singles was the most amazing community. We were all there for each other, all through the day, all through the night. We met up regularly. We had great social meets. It was wonderful. And then it just got too big. It got too big. You know, when it was like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, it was amazing. When it got up over 10,000, that kind of spoiled it. So I'm very grateful that I've got what I'm sure will continue to be a hugely unsuccessful YouTube channel, and we'll never lose that closeness. I mean, actually, somebody said the other day, I think it was on my lunchtime live on Sunday, that they thought that the live streams were the heart of our community. And I would agree with that. And I've often said that the live streams, you guys who regularly keep me company here, you are my inner scrotum and inner sanctum, sorry. And no matter, you know, even if the channel did take off at some point, which is pretty doubtful considering the crap that I put out there, then we'd still have this core, because only a certain number of people are ever going to watch a live stream and are ever going to get involved. So I like to think that we'll always have the closeness that Joe's talking about, because we'll always have the core of the live streams, because I won't stop doing these. I mean, if anything, I'm going to do more, because I'm planning to do one Saturday and Sunday, a relatively short live at lunchtime, only because having done the one on Sunday, I got to hang out and spend a bit of time with people who have never made it to the evening lives. There were 2, 3, 4 people that were brand new, but one of them wasn't new. One of them was Gemma, who was the person who'd asked me to do a lunchtime live in the first place, although others said that they would, subsequently said they would like it too. And Gemma's been with me for a year now and never seen her live, because she's not up and about at this time in the evening, very sensibly. You know, she's got a child, she works, and she's not going to be around to watch us lot chatting nonsense. So it's a real pleasure to be able to speak to her live, as it were. And it was nice to see some other different names, new names as well. So I plan to keep going with the lunchtime lives, and I plan to do them on Saturday and Sunday to stand more of a chance of catching new people. And I'll try and make them a little bit different. Maybe do them outside in the daylight, or, you know, in a different place, or wander about. Maybe even go somewhere else and do them. But yeah. Evening, Simone, says Trace. Well, I'm going to be there a day, says Joe. So you're welcome to do it. And then when I'm there, as I'd love to see you do a video on him. Okay, brilliant. We will do that, Joe. So I think what I'm saying, says Trace, is that Steve didn't want to build a community. He wanted the tech and the viewers, and spent time marketing to Twitch streaming groups. You're doing it all organically. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I do remember that Steve was very hot on the marketing front, but it was all like marketing a product, wasn't it? Quite professional, which is what you'd expect from him. Whereas I suppose what I've been doing is, I mean, I would love big numbers. Don't get me wrong. I would love to make a living from this. Never going to happen. I would love the big numbers for bragging rights, as well as the income. But I haven't really worked towards that, partly by putting out shit content. But what I've done, I think nearly from day one, is I've just tried to I've just tried to be me. I've tried to share myself a bit, and I've tried to make some friends, to build a community, and as Trey says, to do it organically. So, you know, not do anything posh, not do any mega marketing or anything like that. Just sort of say, hello, darlings. I'm here. This is me, warts and all. I'm an old fart that's falling apart, and I'm going to film some stuff on an old iPhone 6. And if you want to hang out with me, that would be really cool. And, you know, I came across Mustard, I came across all you lovely people, and that's kind of what happened. And I'm so grateful to you all for it, because it genuinely means the world to me. If I had to choose between Hubnut's numbers and Hubnut's YouTube income and what we've got, I'm going to take this every time. Now, in an ideal world, I'd have both. But if it was one or the other, I'm going to take this. Because this is personally meaningful, for Christ's sake. I mean, the money would be lovely. Of course it would. But I'd take this in a heartbeat, to be honest with you. Because it just genuinely means the world to me. If it didn't, I wouldn't be doing it. Because, you know, I give a fair bit of time over to this nonsense now. And I do it because I love it and because it's enriched my life. Or rather, you have all enriched my life. And things are very different now than they were, you know, sort of 12, 13, 14 months ago. And I'm incredibly grateful for it. And and I'm still excited about the future. That's enough of that. We all like a family, says Joe, and it's really nice to see. The community you and Paul have made is brilliant. Oh, bless you. Thank you for that. I think it is too. And Trace agrees. Oh, really? Oh, this is quite moving. Trace says, yeah, Steve saw you doing well. And the plan was to go to YouTube Live once a week because he wanted some of what you had. He was impressed and inspired. Oh, that's quite moving. And it just makes me even more sad that he was taken and never got the chance to do that. Thanks for telling me that, Trace. Joe says, I've also been thinking I might start a YouTube channel again. I did have one back in the day with about 2,000 subscribers. But that was gaming videos when I was in school. But I'd love to do a car YouTube. Bloody hell. Joe says, I do have a YouTube video on here about a car cleaning product. Get this, with 81,000 views. God above. I struggle to get 81 views on mine, never mind 81,000. Bloody hell. Well, you're obviously missing a trick, Joe. You've got the magic touch. 81,000 views. But it was so bad, as it was like when I was 14. Ha ha, squeaky voice. No smashing pistons tonight, Simone. He was about earlier, love, but we think he's fallen asleep. Oh dear. Do you know what, darlings? I am going to, somewhat unusually, cut this a little bit short because I am knackered. I'm absolutely knackered with a capital knack. And we've been going an hour and 35. Have we named the... Oh, yeah, we have named it. We have named it. Another one of them. So I'm going to bugger off if you don't mind. and I'm going to have a slightly earlier night. I'm going to get me some supper. I'm going to do some uploading. I might... No, I won't be able to get the daily diary up tonight, will I? That'll be up in the morning for you. But yeah, so start saying your good nights, and I'm not going to plough on until midnight because... oh, I'll have a look at that. Oh, bloody hell. Joe is absolutely correct. He does have a video on YouTube and it does have 81,000 views. And that is pretty damned impressive. And I'll have a look at the other photos I was sent. Oh my God. Oh, let's have a look at the other one. Oh, that's quite a nice photo actually. Yeah, those are the photos that Sophie took today, and I'm making a slightly funny expression. Mustard looks very handsome, as indeed does Neil, and Sophie's got a lovely smile. So, oh, that's lovely. And I'm also been tagged in. Right. Cooper's up to his... If we comment on this, it's a Facebook post. If we comment on this and tag Jason Parry Hughes, and he's tagged me, does his phone ping on the live stream asking for a friend? Okay, bring it on. Bring it on. I will stay till midnight if you all want to tag me and things and ping. Not a problem. Bring it on. Do it. Oh, it's the clip. Oh, it's the clip. Turn up and look bewildered. It's a clip. Oh, I'm going to watch that now. It's just been pushed past in a pushchair, and you've never seen a more bewildered-looking human being in your life. Quite understandable, really. And I'm feeling pretty bewildered myself. I've never been to one of these things before, and so I wasn't quite sure what you're supposed to do. But apparently you're supposed to turn up, look bewildered, and just wander around looking at a load of random cars, and there you go. A child has just been pushed out, and you've never seen a more bewildered-looking human being in your life. Quite understandable, really. I mean, I'm feeling pretty bewildered myself. I've never been to one of these things before, and so I wasn't quite sure what you're supposed to do. But apparently you're supposed to turn up, look bewildered, and just wander around looking at a load of random cars, and there you go. In the morning for you. Oh, let's turn the volume back down. If you want to know what I'm laughing at, Trace posted the clip that we were talking about earlier, that the video that I took at the Furious Driving meetup at the Motorist. Made a clip called Turn Up, Look Bewildered. And if you want to see that, I think it's quite funny. And it is going to be a short tonight. That's what I'll do when I finish that. When I finish this. That will turn into today's short. But if you want to have a look yourself and have a laugh, then go to the Facebook group now. And if you're not a member of the Facebook group, and this is directed at you, Neil and Sophie, I wanted to tag you in a post in the Facebook group to thank you for a lovely afternoon, and to thank you for lunch, and for the lovely gifts of my knob warmer and my boobs. I mean, who isn't going to love being given a knob warmer and boobs, for heaven's sake? And I couldn't tag you, so I assume you're not members. But yeah, any of you who aren't a member of the Facebook group, if you use Facebook, do please join. Just search on Facebook for Boaty's World. You will find the Facebook page. Please like and follow that. That helps me out. And please join the group. It's a community group. What's this? Yeah, that's the Facebook. Oh, and you've liked it. Bless you. Thank you, Neil. Right. Well, Neil has found the Neil has found the Facebook page and he's liked and followed it. So very grateful for that. Do find the group as well. Search for Boaty's World, click on groups if it doesn't immediately pop up, and you'll find the group. You have to answer 3 simple questions in order to gain admittance. So if you want to know what I was laughing at, have a look in the Facebook group. Trace has posted that clip. It is going to be a short. And it was genuine at the time. I remember it. It was furious driving me. A bewildered, like I told you, a bewildered child was pushed past. I was eating a bloody sandwich. Hold on, more photos. What's this one? Excellent, excellent. Neil has done the page and the group. Thank you, mate. You're an absolute superstar. What was my other ping? Brilliant. And and Trace, in the Facebook group, Trace has also posted the live stream, my first ever live stream that I did with my friend Steve. And oh bloody hell, Sophie's pinging me now. Brilliant. Sophie has joined the Facebook group as well. Thank you guys. It'll be lovely having you in there. So if you head into the Facebook group, you can click on some things and you can see what the bloody hell I was laughing about. That'll make a really good short. Thank you, Trace. Thank you for doing that. And there will be comments now to catch up with. Matt says there's a new Project Nigel video up and he's just been to watch it. Simone says, night then. I've got the stream with me and Steve to watch before bed yet, says Trace. That went on for bloody hours, Trace, didn't it? It went on for about 3 hours or something, Doc. Steve was a fan of a long live stream. I'm not watching that before bed. I'll be in until breakfast time. The car we then talk about on this channel is featured on Project Nigel's video. Good night all. Enjoy your supper, Boaty. I really will. Black Lines is here for the end. Oh, well, I've got a second win now, haven't I? Now we're talking about stuff. Let's just check my chicken for supper. Has that actually... that'll be grand. That'll be grand, that will. I'm really looking forward to supper. I'm looking forward to lunch tomorrow as well. Am I the only one that plans their food well in advance and gets excited about their meals, even like the day before they're going to eat them or 2 days before? I'm excited about tomorrow's lunch and I've not had tonight's supper yet. Is that just me or does anybody else do that? And Neil said, yes, I'm a member now. Good man. And I'm right, says Trace. It's over 3 hours long. I remember it bloody went on and on forever. And Boaty the Squiddle, says Steve. And I remember going upstairs. Steve made me take the camera upstairs to my bathroom, for God's sake. I've never done that. I've never taken you lot into my bathroom, have I? I mean, it's only a matter of time, let's be honest. Boaty, live from the bath. That is going to happen. I'm telling you, that is going to happen. Steve was obsessed with your toilet and then blamed you. I remember he made me do it. Yeah. I was bullied into it like you lot bullied me into... I'm actually going to do this now. You know when I was filming that fly, I realised that this had got very dusty again. And I felt ashamed. And I'm now going to clean it live. Where's my kitchen flannel? Here we are. I'll wipe this first. Yeah, I remember that, Trace. Oh, God, that was funny. That was funny. God, 12 of you are still hanging on. Fair play. You have got stamina, you people, I'll give you that. I've been banging on since 10 o'clock. It's quarter to midnight. Oh dear. Oh yeah, the Facebook group. I was going to talk about the Facebook group. Now, right, obviously, my Facebook group has been up there for a while now, and there's a few people in it. Not a massive number. Not a... no then. Yeah, there's not a massive number, but there's about 750 people in the Facebook group. And the thing is, I'm aware that most people now who have a YouTube channel, or many people, not most, but many people who have a YouTube channel now also have a Facebook group for that YouTube channel. Imitation being the sincerest form of flattery and all of that. Sorry, I'm just washing up these pots while I'm talking to you. I was talking about this on, God, what's that now? Oh God, that's mustard. I was talking about this on the Sunday lunch live, how I like to potter while I'm doing things. Hopefully you can still hear me right over there. I'm almost done. There we go. Just a quick rinse. So yeah, there are a lot of Facebook groups about now, and you know, and there are multiple Facebook groups now within our own community, which is, you know, it's great. It says, used correctly, I think a Facebook group is a great backup to a YouTube channel. You know, outside of the videos, outside the live streams, you can, you know, it's a way to keep in contact with the other community members. And I perfectly understand that anybody with a channel, or even without a channel, might like to have a Facebook group, and I'm a member of all of yours. Now, obviously, you're going to promote your own channel on your Facebook group. Of course you are. I get that. But what I've noticed in a lot of the other Facebook groups is that people post memes and jokes and funny stuff, and that's lovely. We all need a bit of a laugh in our lives. However, I'm also aware that if it's the same thing going on in all the groups, it might get a little bit samey and a little bit boring. And I would like to make, well, I always intended to make from the beginning. I wanted my Facebook group to be a little bit different from that. So, you know, not just the memes, not just the, it was genuinely intended as a that's actually quite funny. It was genuinely intended to be a community thing. So what I would like in my Facebook group, if you would be so very kind, is rather than posting memes or funnies or whatnot, treat it as a community area. Treat it like we treat the live streams, a safe place amongst friends and people that you trust. And just share real stuff about you. It doesn't have to be deep and meaningful, but I would love it as a little bit of an area where I got a little bit more of an insight into your lives, right? Because I think of all of you people as friends, as good friends, and I hope that's the way that you think of me. And I would love my Facebook group, or the Facebook group, or our Facebook group, if you like, to be an area where we can all get to know each other a little bit better. So post stuff about you, post stuff about your life. Don't post a meme that tells us nothing about you. Or post anything. Post a picture of your food, the latest meal you've had. If you're at a railway station, post a picture of that. Post a picture of your workstation. Tell us how you're feeling. Anything, just make it about you. so that rather than just yet another group full of memes and jokes and whatnot, let's make it a group about us, about a group of friends where we can catch up with and learn a little bit more about each other. That's what I would love it to be. So I'm going to make the effort to share a little bit more on there about me and my stuff. I mean, I do it, God knows I do it enough on the bloody live streams, don't I? Boring you all to tears. But please do use the group for that. I will make sure that the group is well moderated. I'll make sure that it's a safe and respectful place for us all to hang out. So, yeah, if you need a bit of company, if you're feeling down, then put a shout out, because the live stream or whatever, or anybody's live streams, you know, there are many within the community, but that's only a snapshot. It's only part of the day, isn't it? Whereas the Facebook group, it's there 24 hours a day. So, you know, whatever. If you want to have a bit of fun, if you want to share something, it's there all the time. So please do use it, but use it as a community space. Not just a repository for memes or, you know, or funny cartoons or something like that. I mean, there's a place for those, but they're all over the internet and they're all over the Facebook groups and whatnot. Let's make it a nice, let's make it a little community family place for us where we share and where we talk and whatnot. That's what I'd like it to be. Like Joe and Trace and other people have talked about. Let's make it that sort of a place, not just a funny picture place that, you know, isn't quite the same, is it? When I check into Facebook, then, or into the group, I want to know about you lot. I want to know about what you're doing. If you're at a car show, I'd like to see pictures of it. If you've had a really nice meal that you enjoyed, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see stuff about you, basically, not memes or clips about other people, because I don't know them. I know you. And anyway, that's enough of all that, innit? I've made a channel, says Cars with JC. I wanted Rover JC, but didn't want to copy Rover Joe, as he's a legend. He is, isn't he? Plus, my channel won't just be Rover, so Cars with JC. Oh, well, there we are. That has happened live. Ah, now this is interesting. So we've got a new community channel. It's Joe Cox's channel. It's called Cars with JC. Good luck with it, Joe. And I'm sure you'll get plenty of support from your family of community members. Now, this is interesting. Blackline says, I'll be honest, Boaty, I left the group because there was too much random stuff being posted. I was interested in your video and other people's videos, but it turned into just random funnies. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to be tactful. But that's exactly the problem. I've started going through the group and I've been deleting all of the random stuff because it's not what I intended the group to be for. I haven't said anything overtly because I don't want to seem ungrateful or critical of people who've been kind enough to join in. And I want everybody to join in, but it should be, in my mind, it should be a community family tool where we share stuff that is relevant to me or to us or to you. And yeah, Black Lines, I've deleted a lot of stuff. I'm going to make sure that it's not going to be like that anymore. Please come back, and I need all of you guys on board with me to fashion the Facebook group into what we would like it to be, which should be an extension of the community stuff that we do here on this channel, on other channels, on meetups, and so on and so on and so on. And it should be, it should be a fun place, but it should be a bit more meaningful and less random. So that's what we're going to work towards. So do come back, do come back. We'll talk about this again in the future. Stigbürt found out Michael Caine's a Royal Fusilier like myself. Not a lot of people know that. Yes, of course, he did have an army career, didn't he? Older Michael Caine, or Maurice Micklewhite to give him his real name. If I remember correctly, isn't that how he got the part in Zulu? Because he'd served. I might be imagining that. And there's me posting a meme, says Simone. There's memes all over the place, right? So I'm not saying don't have fun. We're all members of many groups now. And there are plenty of other groups. And all I'm saying is let's make my group, our group with me, let's just make that one a little bit different, shall we? I'll be there. I'll be all over it. I will moderate it carefully. I've got a lot of experience of moderating Facebook groups. And if need be, I'll put whatever needs to be put into place to make sure that it's the way that we like it. But let's make it a more personal space for us. I'm not bothered about numbers in a Facebook group. There's no benefit to numbers. It's a private group. It's a private space. Let's use it for us. Now, sometimes, I know from experience, sometimes there are things that you don't want to post on your personal Facebook wall because you might have work acquaintances on there. I don't know, but there's stuff that you just might not want to put on your personal wall, and you might need a space to put it. Let's use the group for that. Let's still have fun, but let's just share ourselves on there and make it a proper community thing. So, use the group. Check in on a daily basis or whenever you can. Let us know what you're doing. Add some pictures of whatever you do, but let's use it more for that than just for random stuff. If it's about you, it will be welcome. If it's about your life, it will be welcome, because we're all in this together, aren't we? Am I making any sense? Possibly not. Memes are funny, haha. Maybe we need a meme group, right? You'll never get a meme group from me, and I don't find memes funny in the least. I hate them, but that's just a personal thing. The other reason I don't want them in the group is because I believe in inclusivity and I don't believe in discrimination. So, I don't care if I've got no visually impaired members of my group. I wouldn't care if I only had one visually impaired member join my group. I want the group to be accessible to all, right? And that includes the visually impaired. And I've been through all of this with singles. I've mentioned it before, so I know what I'm talking about. If you're visually impaired and you use the internet, you use a piece of technology called a screen reader, which reads the screen for you and reads out what you would be seeing if you were not visually impaired. Now, if you post a meme, then a screen reader cannot cope with a meme. It will not be able to pick out the text. It will not be able to read it. So the screen reader will just say unknown image. So if you're a visually impaired person and you're looking at a group space or any other social media space and it's meme, then all you get is unknown image, unknown image, unknown image, right? It's no good. It's no good, is it? Now, if it's an actual photo, then I can and do add something called alt text, right? Which anybody can do on Facebook. So if you've got any visually impaired friends or family, then listen up. It's called an alt text feature. So when you add a photograph on Facebook, you can go into the photograph and add alt text. So any visually impaired person, the screen reader will read out that alt text and it will tell them what's in the photo. So photos can be inclusive, right? Memes just cannot. So if you post a picture of you graduating, wearing your gown and whatnot, you can put in the alt text. Well, the alt text can come up automatically. You can alter it or you can add your own. And you can add photograph of me graduating wearing a gown or stuff like that, you know. So photos are not necessarily exclusive. What are exclusive and discriminatory are memes and posting using the coloured backgrounds that you can do on Facebook. Again, a screen reader will not be able to pick out the text on that coloured background. So, as a favour to me, please, in my group, please don't use the coloured backgrounds. Please just use normal text. Please don't post memes, and please share yourself. And I will try and do the same. And let's just build it into a nice little space that we can pop in and out of and hang out with each other when we're not doing it on a live stream or on a video or something like that. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm not being critical of anybody that's posted stuff in my group. I'm not being critical of any other group. We all manage our own spaces. I manage my own Facebook group, and that is the way that I would like it to be, please. And thank you very much. Some of us don't do Facebook. Yeah, I know that. This is aimed at those of you that do. And if some of you don't do Facebook because you don't want to be inundated by memes and cat pictures and filth, then consider joining Facebook anyway, locking down your profile and just joining my group, and hopefully it will be a nice space for you. If you don't do Facebook out of other principles or other reasons, then of course I understand that. And, you know, there'll still be YouTube, won't there? Joe says, I think the group needs some rules put in place going forward, as I like the idea to make it a safe place and extension to the community. Yeah, I like that idea too. And, you know, I don't like the idea of rules when we're all grown-ups, but yeah, maybe some community guidelines. I mean, the way I worded it in singles was I didn't want to put rules. We're not kids in a playground. I put posting etiquette or something like that. But yeah, I can put that in place if need be. Matt says, I've never really understood the purpose of memes, but I do post ridiculous comments, so I can't really have an opinion. Well, I think memes are designed... Well, I think the point that memes have come to have is that people who can't think of anything to say for themselves can post somebody else's work, so they can join in without having to think of something original to say. I have no problem joining again, says Black Lines. It was just personal preference. I totally get that. It just felt like a general group rather than a community. So I just decided to go back to watching the YouTube channels instead. That got addressed maybe after you left, and it's a little bit different now, and it's going to be a little bit more different in the future. So do come back and let's all decide together what we would like it to be, and let's make it that together. And if a handful of us start doing that, then that will set the dynamic for the group and everybody else will follow. Or if they don't like it, they'll bugger off. But either way, the group will become what we would like it to be. So Work with me, guys. It's our space. So let's work together and make it into a space that we're happy to be in. And Joe says, thank you, Boaty. I never knew about that. Always wondered what it meant by adding text to a pic, and now I know. Yeah, you can do it just as text in the picture. So when you put a picture up, just say, I don't know, this is a picture of my dinner. It was lazuli chicken with rice and and whatnot. Or you can do it as alt text, which is hidden and which other people won't see, but visually impaired sight readers will pick up. And that is enough of that for tonight, isn't it? We've made it till 5 past midnight. Thank you for your company, you wonderful people. And I will now bugger off and leave you in peace. Yes, I will. And I think I'm pretty sure I'm banged up with the comments, so that's a great time to leave it. I will play you out, of course. Here we go. I've frozen my wine. Wine turd. Oh dear. Darlings, thank you so much for your company. Thanks again to Neil and Sophie for a fantastic day today. And I'll just thank you, all of you, for being there and for being you. I've really enjoyed tonight. I always do. I'm going to show you this just once more because I really like that. Daily, I won't blather on about anything else. I will just say good night to you. Have a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. Be there or be somewhere else. Much love to you all and a very good night. Sleep tight.